the generation that we're setting up of like, you got to do something for me.
We're not going to go back and forth about a home wrecker. A home wrecker has a name for a reason. No.
Yeah,
A home wrecker has a name for a reason. A home wrecker is a person. So this is what I was. The song. You got me suicidal.
And they couldn't play that on the radio. Hey guys, welcome back to 8 at the Table. Today we are going to be getting into the topic of love versus resource. And we are going to be starting the topic off with this specific video that I'm about to show you guys.
Power dynamics are so important in a relationship, and especially if you're having a relationship with someone you work for. Right. I had a personal romantic relationship, and he was a mentor, and he pushed me, and he's responsible for a lot of my success. We did have a relationship while we were both married. We ended up both divorced. I wanted to break up. I saw it wasn't a long-term relationship, and my job and my career was held over my head. By that time, I was a single mother with 2 children. So it was a tough time, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. Eventually, Bob left the company, and I became CEO. And I was CEO for 13 years without him being there, and to live my dream, and without any form of harassment. So I guess after Me Too and Time's Up, I wanted women to know there's other kind of harassment. It's not all a man coming to the door in a robe. That's not the kind of relationship I had. It was one that grew into a relationship. At times it felt consensual, because we were out in public. But after Me Too and Time's Up came back, I sort of reevaluated the whole thing. I said, was this really my choice? Why now? Well, I stepped down from BET about 3 years ago.
Okay, so this was a video about, BET's Black CEO, who basically said that for majority of her run as CEO of BET, she was involved with, one of the higher ups, and that job was held over her head. And she was basically forced into a romantic relationship with this person. So that really...
That's what you gathered from that? That's not what happened at all.
So what was it that happened? Because she said when the whole Me Too...
It was a consensual dating.
But her question was it her choice?
No, she questioned herself. Yeah. Big fool. Yeah. Big difference. Let me redo this because Amanda clearly missed the ball, right?
Okay, so what is the ball?
What happened, for those that are watching and for this topic of conversation, is that there was a woman who was a CEO of a company. But before she was a CEO of a company, she was somewhere lower. And then she started dating a man and having consensual sex and relations with this man who was the power holder and giver. Eventually, when she was in the midst of dating and in a relations with him, he granted her the power of being at a higher position. At some point, they must have wanted to have some type of separation, and her job title of the new role, the higher role, was held as was held over her head as a, transactional piece. Well, it was a transactional piece. So as she left him, he was going to pull that job title. So now she comes into a realization where she feels as if it is part of a harassment type, because there was something being held over her for her to keep her to keep her new role at the job, which to me is not harassment. It is a conscious choice. Any woman and or man that decides to get involved sexually, consensually, right, to get a higher position, a higher pay, or to have a personal excel in that business company or whatever it may be, in that job role or in that job, that is not harassment. that is you utilizing your body, you utilizing your looks, you utilizing your ability to now date somebody to potentially benefit yourself. If you do deem to do so, okay, but do not expect for that to be the same if you decide to break that agreement that you have with the person who is giving you that opportunity. That is my personal opinion.
Okay, right. But what I got from it was that it was consensual at first, but only when she did not want it anymore did she realize that he was being transactional with her. He did give her the position because they were in this relationship or situationship, whatever the hell it was. I don't know if it was like that serious to them or not. But that is her point in saying, like, was this even like consensual for me? Like, did I have a choice in it? Do I have a choice in it? Because now I feel like I have an ultimatum on the table. I either stay in this relationship and keep my job, or if I end this relationship, then everything that I've
She didn't lose her job.
personally worked for all of those years, and blah, blah, blah. And before you even think about catching the attitude right here, let's not make it seem like that woman did not put in her own work for that position. Exactly.
That. Anyways, let's get real. So this is a woman who did not have that role in that job. She was not the CEO, nor did she qualify to be at that time.
Who says that she didn't qualify to be the CEO?
Well, how about this?
That's not the case. I'm gonna be honest. That's not the case.
Okay, so let's put it like
Debra Lee is a legit person in her field. She didn't necessarily just get the CEO job because she her way to the top. No one gets a CEO job.
Not true.
I was about to say, thank you. We're not gonna run with that narrative.
No, guys, do y'all understand what CEOs of large companies do?
Yeah, but you just said that they can't have sex and become CEO.
No,
like that's not true.
No, but okay, what I'm saying is that you can't have sex solely and think that's your only thing that's gonna get you to CEO position. First of all, do you know how to manage your resources? Do you know how to read a P&L? Do you know how to hire the right people in your executive C-suite who can support you to make sure the company does well?
Like, you gotta at least be in the running to be the CEO to be picked because you in that person.
Because the board hires the CEO.
Time out. Stop, Aaron.
Yeah,
No, we're not going with this dumbass narrative.
Like the concept. I mean, the company. Honestly, so you can't always say that. Honestly, I know that for a fact.
And
We're
first of all,
talking about BET though.
we're just talking about just BET.
Yeah.
Well,
But
this
no, in
company
general.
was BET.
before we even go into that, right? Let's just pick this apart because Aaron, that was wrong. It was very great. It
My
sounded.
husband is a C-suite executive. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
And so let's get real. Yes. Can you say, does she qualify in the sense that does she possess the skill set? Yes. But I can also say she does not qualify in the sense of her competitors she is outweighing. So now, if she knows that she does not qualify over the other 5 people that are above her, and she sleeps with the CEO that now gives her an edge, guess what? She still is actually making a conscious decision to get somewhere using her body, right? And or love and or whatever the hell shit is that he's searching for that she possessed.
I think what he's saying, like, were there others more qualified for the position?
That
More
would
than
be
likely.
a question.
More than likely.
Come to play, but
Right.
there's no fact that says that she
is
wasn't more
not-
qualified than however many other people in the running.
Y'all, everybody
Is she
answers to a
suing him?
board. Everybody answers to a fucking board. No one is just making a one-off, like, single-handed decision like that.
No, I wasn't saying that. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, they can get in trouble for it, but it's still getting done. Like, people are still sleeping with their bosses. People are still cheating in the
Absolutely.
workplace, and it's getting done. And then they become the CEO, or they become the boss, or they become so and so.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I don't want us to make it seem like she was not qualified, like she didn't have the acumen, like she didn't have the skill. I don't care how much you giving. You're not gonna put your business that feeds you and your family and hundreds of other and thousands of families, leave it to somebody who doesn't have a skill set. You have a board meeting every 3 months or sometimes 6 weeks, and you have to present numbers, you have to present performance, you have to present a reason every single time why you should remain in that position.
Just because she kept her job doesn't mean that she did not use her body to get her job.
I didn't say that.
Okay, but
So you guys are just talking about two different things.
yeah,
So what are we
yeah,
talking about?
and my
then?
thing is, but my thing is, I don't even care about what she's talking about. Like she wants to talk about seams and ifs. I'm talking about the reality.
Said, right.
Yeah, and that's what she said. That's why I'm pushing that to the side.
It's not an if.
You said seems and if. I don't want to make it seem as if, right? I used your words. Now,
No, I said you're making it seem.
no, I didn't make anything seem. You took it that way. What I'm going to say is
what you
this
said,
is a
though.
person who did not get that job when they walked into the company. Okay? She did not say, hey, I am one of the people that are going to even probably be even presented to the board. We can add all of these contexts, but the reality is she did not get that job until she was in a relationship or some type of situationship with the person who is the person of power. She might have never even had a name to be presented to the board until he brought it there after she gave it up to him. So you can't use your body. You can't use your looks. You can't use whatever your charm is and then get upset when somebody says, hey, you wouldn't be here if I didn't put you here. And I put you here because I liked you and you liked me. You gave me what I wanted. Now you want to take away what I want and you saying I can't take away what you want. That's when this does not, like, it's not that's when this gets a conflict. That's when that is always going to be a problem. So what she has to understand is it was a conscious choice.
But I just want to know, how did it start? Because I feel like it started like she was young and everything was cute and everything was fun and he's buying you gifts and everything. And now she's older and they're not having sex. So yeah, of course things are going to change. I just feel like, what's the beginning story? Like, how did they get here?
They were both
I
married.
don't know the
Mind you.
time
How long?
span.
They were both married to other
Yeah,
people.
They both went through divorces.
Come on,
in this.
Lyndon, you're smarter. Yeah, I know you can pick this
Yeah,
apart.
yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying.
there were 30 years in 68
be
and
realistic.
38. It's a 38-year-old woman and a 68-year-old man. No, there were
No.
30-year-old difference.
Wait,
I don't
30?
know.
Wait.
No, I don't think it was 30.
Oh, his
Oh no,
new
that was a
wife.
No,
different
I don't
scenario.
think it's a 30-year difference between them.
You talking about the Judge Judy scenario.
Well, I heard
Boy
back
over
over
here
here
is
30
making
years.
shit up.
Yeah, I want to know the facts.
He is talking
Yeah.
facts here, and we don't know the
10-year
facts
difference.
that he's giving.
It definitely ain't no 30 years.
Well, I
But
heard
my thing
38,
is, like, I
68.
just
I don't
feel
know.
like-
Debra Lee was 68.
Wait, I think he was.
So
That
my
was
point exactly.
that
She
was her
knew.
mentor.
68, he's 76.
So an 8-year difference.
We could play this game if we want, but I feel like, and I know you
Yeah.
guys are smarter. Like, I don't think you ladies would do that, but I feel like some ladies do. Like, I feel like it sounds like to me, she's playing the game. Because why are we even talking about Me Too? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the topics that she's bringing up makes it sound like, let me just throw everything out there to make sure I don't look as bad as I can. You get what I'm saying? And then as a guy, yeah, of course he's going to be, what's the word? He's going to be kicked off or fired because she's using those certain words that we all know in this industry. You can't, and then you become canceled.
I'm not going to completely disagree with you, but you can't really play with Me Too. I'm just going to say that.
No, I'm not
But
playing.
because I
agree
want
to
to
it.
say, maybe she literally felt like she was being manipulated in some way.
and didn't realize it until
all of these other
Until what, he said, I'm not
stories.
giving it to you no more?
No, until
no.
all of these other stories or how other women were manipulated, and she kind of like looked back on her situation like,
I'm a victim
I didn't
too.
really.
I don't like that.
All of
I
a
feel
sudden, I'm a
look,
victim.
Look, I listen. Look. I think that's very much unfair because it takes away some accountability.
Thank you.
Because you are an active participant
That's all I'm saying.
in that relationship. Now, I'm not saying you don't have the qualifications and you're a human being. He may have been your mentor. There was a power differential. I get all of that. And you know what? Looking back, we all have choices and decisions. We all come across roads in our lives where we have to make a decision and we have to be able to live with those decisions. What are my ambitions? I have the ambition to be CEO. Am I willing to do whatever I have to do, whatever that means? Yes. And if that means I have to sleep with him, then I have to do that.
But then you
But you
have to
know
deal with
what?
consequences.
10 years, 20 years, I have to be able to live with that.
Right.
I don't get the luxury of going back and say, now I get to reflect and say, oh my God, you know what? No, you know what? I did it. I did it.
You do get to reflect.
Not after 35.
Exactly.
If your
Mary
frontal
for
cortex
president.
is fully developed,
was
as a
hoping.
woman, you were married. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not disagreeing because you do get to reflect.
Hold on.
Yeah, but
But you
when are you going to reflect? She was in the, for how long? And then once he said no, now you want to reflect after it's done?
I'm not taking away her accountability at all.
It sounds
I
like
say this
it.
all the
That's
time.
me.
A choice is a choice.
Right.
You got to deal with your choices. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can't say she can't reflect. You need to be able to reflect and look back and see how fucked up it was, or how shady it was, or
But you
how
didn't feel
out of
that?
line.
Not one part in your life, like when you're going to work and you're like, oh, maybe somebody else could have got this job.
No, she might be like, shit, I'm where I want to be, paid off.
Exactly my point.
Maybe
My
she's
point
where she wants to
So
be
that's what-
career-wise, but she lost her husband now, and she wants,
Exactly.
and she's probably
She was cheating on her husband.
That's what
she was cheating on her husband, but it's like, okay, was this relationship really worth it? Did I really love him? Was I just
Exactly.
using him? This is what she's reflecting on.
But you own those
But
choices.
you own them. You're not a victim of them.
I don't think we're saying
No,
that.
Like you can reflect. That's part of growth, right? This is the thing that my challenge with what she's saying is that, like, you know, now
Leaning on that.
yeah,
no,
like
that was
you're
my thing, is
leaning
how
on
she's
it
saying
too
it,
much.
literally.
You
Now
see
I
what
was
I'm saying?
harassed.
I
Yeah,
can
and now I'm thinking
recognize
about it. It's the
power
wording that she's saying
difference.
for me.
Do you see what I'm saying? I could recognize there was a power difference in that relationship. Even back then, she had the sense to understand this dynamic is this. I'm not doing this freely.
Yeah.
However, own the choice.
I'm doing
Don't. I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? Own it. Don't be like, it's just ow.
Right.
I don't know,
Like,
y'all.
chill out.
I feel even wrong
Yes,
saying
know what
that's
happens?
why women
Yes.
don't speak out.
No, I agree with what you're saying. No, I agree with what you're saying as far as like why women don't reach out. But I feel like this is a different case. Like you can't, because I feel like I get what you're saying. It's about, you know, men taking advantage. But in this case, no. I feel like she knew what she was doing. She laid down with this man. She got the job. It was all perfect. She didn't want to give no nookie. He say no, and now you want to cry about it. No, we can't do that. Like we can't play those games.
Years
like, we gotta
later.
be realistic. Like that's what I'm saying.
Here's what I
But can you sue?
You can't.
sleep with this man.
Because she had the qualifications.
But it's too late.
She had the
can't get those
ability.
things back.
And you know what? Here's the problem. She did not know it, which is why she was willing to sacrifice her marriage. She was willing to sacrifice her job. She was willing to sacrifice his marriage and his job, all for the greater good, which was her best.
Wait. She was sacrificing his job?
I mean, because if just because there's two plays this game, just because he's pursuing her, just because he's pursuing her does not mean she needs to engage in it. So
Wait, come on now. We talking about a whole bunch of accountability, but
I'm not saying that he's not
messing up his marriage.
First of all, I'm not saying that he is not accountable. They both share equal accountability in both sides. So she risked her life with her husband. She risked her job. She risked that marriage. She was a participant in possibly him getting fired, and then decides once she realized that she can get the job and maintain the job, and not only maintain but excel in that job. Now she realized, I never needed to sleep with him. I never need to put any of this at risk. I possibly could have had my same husband previously and then also been able to do everything I'm doing now without ever having to be with this man. That's what's happening.
No, I agree with.
So when you have that,
100%
but this
agree
is
with
my
you.
issue. When you have that reflection period, people make sacrifices to get where they want to get to in their corporate or in their life, in their career. Don't go ahead and try to become a victim or claim victim. Right? After you made such sacrifices consciously. You made such sacrifices consciously to get ahead. And then when you get there, you realize I could have got here without having to do that. And now you start to reflect, and now you feel like you were manipulated, or you feel like you were a victim.
Her choices.
I think it's her choice of words and how
Yeah,
she's
that's all that's
presenting.
it.
She could have said, you know
And
what,
she tied
ladies?
in with me too.
You don't
what's your
have to
mind is
do
at?
it. If she came out and she says, you know what, I've had time to reflect and I realized I didn't have to make that sacrifice.
Right.
Because you know what? I had the capability, the qualifications. I qualified just as much as any person to be CEO. And I didn't need to go down this road. But you know what? Decisions were made. This is what happened. I'm telling you so it's a lesson for you guys to know. But don't hit me with the, me too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially after you got the benefit.
Right.
Girl, bye.
Like the benefit,
agree with all
everyone,
of this.
he had a benefit and she had a benefit. We were both benefiting from the relationship.
The one thing, I'm sorry, I gotta check this. She didn't risk his marriage.
No, I agree.
Oh, no, he did that.
No, but that's what Rico said. I don't want this to ever.
Oh no,
be
he
like-
did that.
She risked her own marriage, and he risked his marriage, their family, and everything that came after it.
No, he was just saying because it's
No,
takes
he,
two.
no, he
It takes-
said because he
It takes two to
pursued-
tango.
That's what he said.
There's a lot of women that even if I'm married and I try and I say, hey, I'm married, you know I'm married, she's not gonna give me the time of day.
Doesn't matter. That is your decision, your marriage.
It's our
your,
decision.
No, it's not. Like it's okay. It's y'all's decision that affects your family.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She has no responsibility
For
to
what
his
goes
wife,
on
to
in
his
your marriage.
children,
Yeah.
That's
to,
true.
to nothing.
That's
So
true.
she's not. She didn't risk his livelihood, his family, whatever. He did.
I don't want to get off
he
on a
made
tangent.
the choice.
Yeah, I don't want to get off on a
Because the
tangent.
things
Not
that
a
we're
tangent.
talking about accountability.
Yeah, and
she is accountable, and she should be held accountable accordingly.
Well,
But
how about this?
We cannot. I'm sorry, no, you can't just throw little knickknacks in there and act like we're gonna let that slide.
Aaron, what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna go back and forth about
We're not gonna
a
let it
home
slide.
wrecker. A home wrecker has a name
He is
for
a
a
home
reason.
wrecker.
No.
Yeah, they
A
both
home
are
wrecker
home
has a
wreckers.
name for a reason. A home wrecker is a person
And his name is Bob Johnson.
A home wrecker is a person
the same
who
boat.
actively and consciously engages in a couple. I mean, in a what's it called? In a home, bro, you wrecking
No,
a
but they're
home.
both Wrecking a home.
So you're you've got to take some of that.
That's
Yes,
what I'm saying. You putting
risk-
everything on her though.
No, I'm not. I completely said
Okay, so he wrecked her home. Let's just put it like
they
that.
both home wrecked. Yes. And I said that already.
No,
I
that's-
said they
that's
are
dumb.
equally responsible
not.
for each other's marriage. Because
they're
you know why? If
I
we
don't owe nobody shit except the person I'm married to.
whatever,
Fuck that.
could be how you feel. But I didn't make the term home wrecking. And home wrecking shows some type of accountability for such.
No,
Now,
no,
all
it
right.
doesn't. Like I don't understand.
Let's
where
get
you
back
get
on
this from.
topic. Let's get back on topic.
Who has when you marry somebody? Is there a third person involved? Somebody let me know. When you are legally married and your marriage is recognized by the state, outside of the man and the wife, the husband and the wife, is there somebody else involved? Alan, is it? You married? Yumi, is it? You married? You married? Is it? Is somebody else? All right. There is no other person that you owe a responsibility to than the person to whom you are married and the state recognizes it. Now, if the state recognizes a 3-person marriage, then perhaps there's a third person in it. But with respect to Debra Lee and Bob Johnson,
They messed up their own relationship.
respectively messed up their own relationships. That's dumb. Like, why would we like?
They
If
respectively.
we're gonna call her a homewrecker, he's a homewrecker too.
And
Oh,
I already
yeah,
said,
great.
and I already
That's
said that.
okay, yep.
So thank you for proving my point, and I don't need to go back and forth about something that's already common sense.
circle
now
back,
let's go
don't put it
circle
on-
back.
To
Let's-
circle back in terms of what we're really talking about, Amanda, if you could take us.
Love and resource.
Sorry. Come on, accent.
Okay, so I mean, we kind of just gave the video to start the topic off because we are in debate on if she used this man for, if they were really in a real like love relationship, or did she just use him for what he could provide
resources.
for her?
So what do y'all agree? Like, do y'all agree? Did she use him, or did she not?
Did she love him or did she love his
What y'all
resources?
thought? I'm just curious.
No, I mean she probably did like him, but I do feel like she absolutely took advantage of it. I'm gonna be honest.
What do you think?
Shit, I would too.
All right, I think London.
Out of here.
I
now,
think she
would
was
you-
happy
but
with
now-
the
No, I'm
advantage.
gonna say I did it.
No, I'm saying, but now when he says no to you, are you like,
And I'll be like,
But
I get it, but if I've been here for a long time, I might sue.
well, are you saying no? Matter of fact, I asked the wrong question. Are you saying no to him after he done everything to you?
What do you mean?
Like, because she said no to him, and that's what made it all flip. So,
like
did
she
you-
didn't want a relationship with him.
Yeah, that's what
I,
happened.
I think
So
that
they were
she
still together.
honestly did like him.
Wait, so this video's after all of that?
Yes.
Yeah, cause she
Yeah,
recently
thank you.
retired.
I just,
Yeah.
I feel like she honestly did like him, and I think
don't
she
think so.
I think she
I don't
did.
think so either.
Come on, think
I
about
think
back in
that
the
she
day.
I think that she liked the advantages that came with
it.
dating him
They're just
or
trying to soften
having
the blow.
sex.
So
with
she liked
him.
his resources.
thank you, not him.
Yes.
I don't think she
What is-
So
liked
we all
him.
come to the conclusion.
You grown to like him after you've been sleeping with him
No,
for
I don't know. I
13
think
years.
No,
She
but if
probably-
you like somebody
that's the thing.
and
Yeah.
being that you like and you fucking with somebody and they get you free Popeyes for a year just because you fucking with them, it's
Give
just
me-
like,
give me
hey,
the
I'm not
Popeyes.
dating him for the Popeyes, but if this is what I get just for fucking with him, then cool.
Right, but then you keep on doing it because you know you're going to get the Popeyes.
Exactly.
So stop playing.
But no. But then when I say I don't want to fuck with you no more, and then they say, but no more Popeyes. Remember the Popeyes.
But
Man,
then you're going to always go back, right? Not you. I'm just saying in that situation. Then you end up going back
my
to get the
God.
Popeyes though.
Marie, can you do me a favor?
That was the case.
Sure.
That was the case.
Can
That
you
was the
tell me
case.
what her husband was doing at that time? What was her married husband's job?
He probably had a big job.
Right here, real quick.
No.
I think that okay, how do I phrase this? So if those resources are like just a base requirement, I don't know if you're saying that I won't date them. Well, how do I say this? Come back to me because
I just feel like you're gonna love who you love, no matter what
Give me your mic.
resources.
I'm not.
No matter what
You're about
resources,
to get off the
because the
table.
resource
You're about to
is
get
a
kicked
plus.
off the table.
The resource is a plus. Yes, everyone wants some. Not
Talk
everyone.
about fairy tale.
Not
you.
no. Because I'm just saying. For me, for example, I would prefer to date someone that has a car. But if I really like somebody and they don't got a car, am I not going to date them? No. But would it be nice if they had a
supposed to
car?
see each other.
But now, if you're not feeling them like that, they're definitely gonna get checked off your box real quick because they don't have a car. No.
Yeah.
If I'm not feeling them like that, it's because I'm not feeling them not like that.
Okay.
Okay. What
Not
if they
because
have
they
nothing?
don't have a
Amanda, if
car.
they have nothing.
No,
What
that's
does
not what I
nothing
asked.
mean?
That's
No
not what I asked.
money. No, they have no money. No potential in
can't do nothing
working.
for you.
They just are the person that you love. They treat you the way that you want. They have sex with you the way that you like or love, and they can do all those intangible things. But they have no job. They have no ambitions on working. They have no financials. They have no transportation. All of those resources I've taken out.
They just
You only
got
get the
jail.
intangibles that end physical sex that you actually like. You go.
Okay, so
poetry,
how
which is
I'm
what you're
going to
doing.
respond to this, right, is
It's with the
Don't
truth.
that
lie.
is no,
Right,
I'm
with the
not
truth.
lying, but don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
Even when they don't have this and that and that and that, right?
Anything.
That is not the reason I would love them in the first place. It's all the other things that you said that I would be interested in them, right? Rico, shut up. But because they don't have this and this and this, it probably may not work for us. So I'd walk away, but that's not the resources is not going to be the reason that I love them.
So let me rephrase what the true question is. Okay? This is a 3-part.
It's about to be a trap, Amanda.
Do people love it already is.
I can tell.
Do people love and I already know the answer. This is a terrible question for you. Do people want the love or the resources? Or the third part is, can they separate certain resources that is an individual standard?
I'm confused.
Like a something that they just require to be with a person in general.
It's there, but individually, because yours could be different than hers, right? Yours could be he has to make 7 figures. Hers could be he has to have a job. It doesn't matter if it's at Amazon. He just has to work. You feel what I'm saying? So
But that's my point though.
for a
Like,
successful
why
relationship,
does it
though.
for a successful relationship, why can't someone just keep moving on until they find what they want in a person? Like, why do we have to sacrifice like having a person with resources or just dating for love? Like, if I find someone who I am interested in, but they don't have this, and that, and the third, and I know that that's not going to make for a successful relationship, why can't I just say, okay, that's not going to work, I'm moving on? It's not like I can't
but
love
let's say
that
this, but
person
now let's say
because they
this.
don't have a car.
Okay, but now let's really put it realistic.
That sounds
let's
stupid.
say that this is a guy who like
Rico, don't say
or
that to
anyone.
me.
Y'all too. But let's be realistic. Let's say there's someone who can really offer you anything. What do you like to do right now, like career-wise?
I bake.
Right. So let's say somebody's like, oh, I can open your bakery right now. I could do all of this. You're going to go with them, or you're going to go with the person who's like, I just want to walk in the park and talk with you all night, and that's it. Just talk on the phone,
Every day.
write poetry, and they're not
Every
doing
day.
anything for your career, anything
Beneficial.
financially, any of that. what
But
are you doing?
let me just tell
No,
you.
right now, honestly, just a real.
And I'm going to tell, I'm
Okay.
trying to be honest right now.
Uh-huh.
The person that's going to say, like, I'll open a bakery for you right now, whatever you want, is a boasty kind of man that is
man. I just say anybody. It could be a
anybody,
friend.
whatever, a boasty kind of person that is just going to try to throw anything at me so that I can date him, so that I can like him. And I don't like people like that.
No, you just changed it around. I didn't say that. I said he said it nicely and everything. Like, hey, babe, I'm gonna buy you this. Da-da-da. I didn't say nothing like, oh, I didn't.
you.
Yeah. I
And
didn't
do
say
you like
ridiculous.
him?
Yeah.
And you like him. You like the both of them.
Yeah. You like both of them. That's what I'm saying. You like both of them. but this one is doing this. A, B, C, and D.
So
and this
I
one
like
is,
both of them the same, but this person is gonna offer me a bakery.
yes.
Then there's no question. Of course, I'm gonna go with the person that's gonna offer me a bakery if I like them the same.
Now let me add this now, right? That person also says if you stop liking me
Right.
and you decide that you want to leave me, I'm taking the bakery. What do you do?
I mean,
Well, let her
That's
answer.
fair.
Let her answer.
It's fair.
That's
After you
not
gave me the
fair.
bakery.
That's not fair.
Oh.
Because are you
No, it is fair.
are you pushing this relationship based on the resources that you can provide for me, or do you really love me? Did you do this out of love, or did you just do this to say I did something for you?
Well, no, sometimes
With
it's
the
out of
resources-
love, but then you start acting crazy, and then it's like, fuck out of here. Like, I'm taking everything
No,
back. Give me
if,
the
if,
keys,
if this
give me
is something you're gonna dangle over my head, then no, you don't have to get it to me. You don't.
Can
You
I
don't have
answer?
to. No.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
cool.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna take the person with the resources.
Right.
I'm gonna make my money. And if they want to take it away, you can't take everything away. You could take the initial investment away.
Right.
What you brought,
If you're smarter,
whatever I flipped.
if you're smarter,
Like, you can, if you gave
So
me,
you're gonna have to work on that quick.
if you gave me $1 million, no, if you gave me $1 million and we together for 3 years, and I flipped that million
Right.
baking cakes, and I got a whole brick
That's
and
what I'm
mortar
saying. You're
store
gonna have to do
now,
some quick flipping.
and now I'm bringing in 2 million take home. Yeah, you can get your little upfront investment back.
Get your
Bye.
million and or store.
But now, question:
Whatever, yeah.
what's the difference from
And or
loving
stores.
somebody with resources and just loving somebody?
Niggas
and
really be
using them?
corny. Y'all don't
Which is
really.
different.
Y'all don't sound how corny
No, I
y'all
said,
are.
what's the difference?
Well,
One
First,
is incredibly transactional.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's base level. Like everything is transactional.
Like this based on exactly what you have and what you can do for me. And if you can no longer do those things, I have no use for you.
Right.
But I feel like that's what we're talking about. No.
No,
Yeah,
because
in a sense,
Right.
yes.
it's
No,
not
London
the
is.
same.
No, I know it's not, but I feel like you get what I'm saying? Like, I know it's not the same, like, mentally. But what I'm saying is, it feels like it is because you're saying pretty much, like, I'm going to do all of this, and then you're going to do all of this, and then if it changes, then we gotta, like, exit? Like, you
I
get what I'm
don't
saying?
know.
What I think London is saying.
I love
Well,
that.
I agree with London to a certain extent because let's live in the reality and not in Amanda's world.
Right. I'm sorry.
There has never
I mean,
been,
whatever.
and I really
You're like, love. It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
and
I
I
live in
wasn't.
the real world.
Which is that?
No,
No.
it's not. That's
I live
definitely
in
not.
the real world.
I don't know. You
Love don't pay the
live.
bills.
That means you're here. Your mind is elsewhere. But what I will say is,
Stand strong, Amanda.
I have not.
I will, because I will not
That's why we love you.
bend over pressure.
Right.
Okay.
I have not been here this entire existence of humankind, right? Mankind. My fault. Human beings, mankind. I have not been here that long. But what I do know is that people have been on Earth for about 338,000 years. And everything that I have learned from all the history and ancient civilizations is that nobody was ever together for love solely. Okay? Not one civilization,
Even Joseph
not
and Mary.
one successful person, not one miserable person, maybe so, right? Because that's why they're miserable, right? But what I will say is when we think about it, there are certain resources that are in individual standards. You know what my certain resources are? Could be like she has to have a job that makes 6 figures. She has to have a car. She has to have ambition. She has to have melanin. I want my children and the people and the kids that I bring into this world to be brown skinned. That's my personal standard. That's a resource, right? Your resource could be entirely different, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But nobody has ever dated without certain pre-qualifications that have to be met outside of the fact that I actually like you and or love you. And that's the point that we have to understand. Now, I agree with Aaron. If you coming in with a lot less and you're leaving with a lot more, right? Based on my personal resources, and I decide to take that away from you, understand that it was never yours to begin with. It was mine that I was lending to you while you were here. It was basically a rental.
You got to charge that to the game.
Yeah, and you got to give it back. And or if whatever you make off of it is yours rightfully so.
Which is what Aaron said, which
Yeah.
is smart. Like,
Which
if you're
I
not
like
making
that.
a plan, then
That'll make
All
me
right,
stay.
but the
I was like,
lending
can I
is
double my money? Can I put double the investment?
He said lending. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
The
lending
lending.
this to you. Like, if you love somebody and you're going to help them with an investment, whatever, let them have it.
no, I agree. Well, it depends on how it ends, though.
Like that's
if it
that's
ended-
corny for you to end and be like, all right, well, I'm taking whatever I provided for you back.
Well, Rico also did say that you have to give back stuff from your previous relationships. So
It looks like I'm holding true
he's
to
very,
character.
very on brand.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. That's what the entertainment industry is.
Sure is.
So people want to sit here and cry, right? And this is why I don't feel bad. When you are somebody who are making certain sacrifices, I don't care if it's leaving your family, I don't care if it's compromising your morals, and then you want to play victim after you got whatever you wanted, you are not in a position to cry wolf. You are not, because you knew the sacrifices that you were making for the resources that that person was providing. People need to understand that no resource comes without condition. And when you understand that no resource comes without condition, then you need to understand that I gotta take what come with it once it goes south. You know what I'm saying? Like, we hear it all the time. I mean, I did modeling, I did music, I did acting. I heard models that got taken advantage of, and I'd be like, how'd you get taken advantage of? And you did that for the photo shoot. Doesn't make
The
sense.
model is gullible. I think that's what it is. If the person themselves is gullible, then yeah, you're gonna get ran over. So I feel like that's the situation. You got to stand your ground, like Amanda
Let's
said.
not just say that they're gullible or maybe they were manipulated.
They're not manipulated. They're thirsty and hungry for an
If you're young,
opportunity.
sure.
No. Can I interject?
Yes, please.
So I think it's both, actually, because I think you can be manipulated because perhaps you've hit the wall so many times and this is your only opening and opportunity to make something happen. And they gonna hold this over your head. Yeah, you gotta drop them draws so you can do X, Y, and Z. Great. And I always say this, a choice is a choice. You had two very, bad choices. Like they're not great. I mean, one is great, but you know what I mean? It's not like something you would just jump for joy to do. But you have to pick one and you got to live with that, whatever it is. You got to own it. Like, you get a reflection period, like, like y'all said, and maybe make better decisions from that. But you can't be like, oh, they made me do it. No, you chose
To do it.
You was at a
That's the
crossroads.
thing.
Yeah.
People try to be a victim after they did what they did because they were in survival mode.
Right.
And that doesn't work that way.
Well, because you're left like with nothing. That's not my fault. You should have been more smarter and planned that and made sure that you was looking good at the end. That's what I did, and that's why he's fine now.
I'm not saying that.
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that the person that's dangling the stuff is all right. By the way, I'm not.
Ethically, they're not right.
Yeah,
Right, no,
ethically, I don't give them.
I agree.
But
Thank
they
you,
would not exist if the people weren't willing to do it.
Well, I kind of 50-50 because I feel like, no, if you did something dirty to me, and maybe it's the cancer in me, I feel like I'm going to be that one to be like, I want everything back. Like, like I'm taking the keys, the car, the house, everything.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am. But I'm trying to learn how to not be petty. But sometimes you got to be petty to teach somebody, like, don't play with me.
Listen,
Don't play with it, don't
If
play
I-
with it.
about to say that.
I'll be damned to change your life and you think you gonna run off.
I mean, if the car under your name, you can take it back.
So, Alan, that's cute, but I think that they're still making a choice to freely give their resources with no strings attached.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know how long you said in that scenario, how long that lady was staying with this old guy, but like, if she stayed there for a year and she ain't paid nothing, she ain't even buying her own toothpaste, then that's on him.
She winning.
He better take that L.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
What you allow is what persists.
Exactly.
And if you're going to continue to allow to be used, the using will be persistent.
You done, you done. Absolutely.
No, I've been here for a very long time. To be
Did
honest,
you just say you haven't been here for
Right.
a very long time?
No, earlier you said you
earlier
haven't
you
been
said
here.
you haven't
Remember?
I haven't
Yeah.
been here.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah, you
this.
said-
on this go round.
Yeah, I mean this go around.
Okay.
This go around.
Gotcha.
I mean, but I said I haven't been here the whole time.
Okay.
I'm not 338,000 years old. I'm probably like 15,000,
Good
25.
night. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there, guys.
Next.
But what I'm saying is they say time is very precious, right? Because it's the only thing that you can't get back. However, a lot of times it took that time for you to go through that time for you to understand where you need to be. So now, is the time the most precious thing, or is your knowledge and or lessons, or knowledge and or wisdom after your lessons the most important thing? See, I hold on. Well, I think because you have to experience something, right?
Yeah.
But just because you experience doesn't mean you learn.
Agreed.
So now, what you learn throughout that time is realistically, in my opinion, the most important thing.
But I feel like you should always learn from situation. So I feel like
Yeah.
if you're not, then that's a whole different thing. I feel like with this, with time, I feel
And
like
your time was just wasted.
yeah, your time is just wasted. But I feel like with
Doubly.
time, I think it's more important because even like let's just take kids. You know what I mean? Seeing your kids grow up. Let's say you're in jail, you never get that time back ever again. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you don't learn that lesson, you're gonna be back in jail. You're gonna. So I guess it's a 50-50 like you
Yeah,
You could just have another kid.
said. But you can't have those memories that those
Yeah.
kids had. You know what I
It's
mean?
entirely
I agree. You
different
could
time.
have. You could.
Yeah,
You
you're
got
a
the
different time.
time.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
saying.
not
And by the way, sometimes you don't get that money back. Let's be real.
You real sick about time too, right?
Just
You
saying.
can't ask for that
I'm
back.
just saying,
But you always
sometimes.
have the opportunity to, as long as you got
Make the
time.
money back.
But the opportunity sounds good. A lot of people fall off and never get back. You know, Jadakiss asked this question. I don't know what's worse, never making it or making it and losing it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you experience something and then you lose it all, and then you spend the rest of your life trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Imagine being 80. You start off, you fall off at 30 years old, right? And then you 80 years old, and you just looking back for the last 50 years, you spent your life trying to get that back, and you never did.
It's like viral moments.
That's gonna be a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Well, a lot of times you only get one shot.
Yep.
People don't realize you only get one
And
shot.
then you're extra
sometimes.
careful the second time if you do
Really?
manage to
Right.
get it back.
A lot of people only get one chance. We all get
Nah,
one
nah.
fair
Been in
chance.
that, shorty.
I don't think you only get one shot.
I mean,
Buy your own toothpaste.
I mean, I think if that's what you believe, then you'll get one shot.
yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely.
once you
There's a
mess
lot
that
of
up,
things.
there's no coming back.
There's a lot of There's a lot of things you only get one chance at doing, right? But we gotta also think about it. Sometimes you might be able to get that opportunity again. But you know what the difference is, and something that I realize is as you get older, as you experience more in life, you're not always willing to make that same sacrifice. And sometimes that sacrifice is the only way you get that second opportunity.
That's a good
And when you
point.
can't make that because you can't live with that, that's when you never get that opportunity again.
That's a good point. It's like riding a roller coaster. Like, you know, you probably did it a lot when you were younger because the risk didn't bother you. But now that you're 40, you like.
It was always a risk for
good.
me, honey.
Same.
But you're not,
Yeah.
when you're younger, you do things. When you're younger, you do things more blindly, and you do things that are
It's because they didn't teach us about fear and stuff.
riskier.
And that's why I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't teach you about fear when you're young. They don't teach you about making mistakes. So you're just like, I'm just going to do everything. And I
Yeah.
wish we can go back to being a kid again mentally.
Yeah.
Because then you just go for everything in life. Then you won't think of the fears and the roadblocks. You just be like, let's do. Instead of like, what if, you know?
Or I know.
True, yeah.
It's like,
I already know what's gonna
I
happen. I
already-
ain't going down that
I was
road.
a
I'm good.
smart
Me
kid.
too. I was.
I don't know.
I
I
was an
think
ambitious kid.
like
Yeah,
back
I was
to
I'm
like
doing that.
Debra Lee.
Right.
Now that it's like now that we've seen the clip, I think that dropping in all of those like hot buzzwords, that's gonna come back on her negatively. And I also think that it negatively affects women who are actually in situations
Mhm.
where they were over somebody's barrel.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
That are
know,
actually in that position.
That comparison, like
Yeah.
it's
They were
almost- I don't want to
actually-
say.
I think
I don't want to go to that extreme that it's almost an insult to women who are truly experiencing sexual harassment
Correct.
and assault, and that are feeling like they have zero options. Like really, you don't have an option because maybe you got to feed your baby and you don't know what you're gonna do.
and you only making
And-
$12.50 an hour.
Right.
crazy.
It's
And-
like they
and
were
you know
asking
your
if he
back's
was
against
gonna,
the
like,
wall.
She was making
Uh,
millions.
Yeah, like
come out with
don't
a
we're not the
counter
same. Don't
argument
do
for
that.
Probably
this
not.
Right,
interview.
give her stock
Did you know she dropped this interview on Breakfast Club on International Women's Day?
And that's what I mean. Everything is
I don't
all
like
about
that.
like a little, like a
Soundbite.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like everything is planned, which I guess because she's a CEO, she has to be. But I feel like everything she's saying just looks like a setup to take down her man. That's what it looks like.
A setup to
That's it.
get bigger and benefit.
Yeah,
And
benefit.
and you're right.
Victim.
And that's the thing. Like like the hot buttons, the hot buzzwords that you said is the part that bothers me most.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there are people like you said, I was a single mother. You were a millionaire.
Right.
Do not compare yourself to the single mothers who are struggling making $25,000 with one or two kids a year. You're a single mother millionaire. You can afford all the resources that you need. You know what I'm saying? So like when you try to in my opinion, people try to get to a group so then that way they can get protected by that group
Yeah.
and get sponsored. So she went and got after the single parents. She got after the victims who are actually having some type of
Posting it on Women's Day.
Yeah. Then you went with the National Women's Day post, or it was aired on National Women's Day.
Like, why do they do that?
Because some people in my mind, and I don't know Deborah. So I tell you, I think she's sick. I don't have no loyalty to Deborah. I'm letting y'all know that now. She is like, anybody who does that is not right mentally in my
I think
mind.
so. I think it's about politics. I feel like it's about the
Yes.
politic thing. You get what I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
sure they talked to her about all the things that everybody's going to say about her. So she's like, so maybe we should throw in the Me Too, or maybe we should throw
Yeah.
in that he did this, so that they take it more seriously.
Yeah, this was
And I
definitely
think-
coached because this
yeah,
is not
100%
recent
coached.
happenings. Like
Right.
this happened
y'all
so long ago.
again, she was
13
CEO for a
years.
very long
13 years.
time.
13 years.
So,
But-
I imagine she did her decision tree on her own. She
Now I
know
feel
what the
bad,
fuck the
'cause I'm
shit look like.
Maybe she didn't, because I'm like, now thinking about it, as a black woman in her position, maybe that's why she didn't say anything. Because I feel like and now I'm playing devil advocate
Back
myself.
then?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
That
Like,
makes
because
sense.
she would have
But
lost
as
the
a black
job.
woman, she should have still
No,
never said anything.
London.
To be honest,
She would have got further. She would have
She
got
sits on
further.
several boards now. Very, really like Fortune 500 companies. She is a person about town. So she's trying to make sure her legacy
reputation
good.
is not
yeah.
as stained, because this is public
is.
knowledge
That's all it
that you
is.
had this affair, right? So what you're doing is you're doing a clean about, and
Right.
you
Yeah.
could have done the clean
Politics.
about by just owning what you did.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? Is that you did this while having an affair. I can understand if you were single, you
That's
might.
the least of her words.
Yeah, but if you were single, you were more believable. You were married, Miss Deborah. You had a whole
She
husband.
didn't worry about that. That
And
was
they
the
were,
least of
they
her
both were.
affairs.
So
Right.
it didn't
Right.
even,
Her-
it didn't
Ain't
even
no
really
fun.
stain her too
Yeah.
much.
Absolutely.
Definitely the
Absolutely.
name part for sure.
You wanna
And
you
people
gotta
are
try
more
to clean it
and
up.
It's going back to the topic. People are more concerned about like what can they give to people and what can they, my title is more important than, anything. Yourself being. I
You
don't
know what
it
would
just
be
seems
more?
like-
Am I?
Man, she should have wrote a book.
Yeah,
Like-
she
like-
did.
she was
That
doing
would
her
have been
book.
smarter.
Oh, okay, like
That's
come
what you was doing?
clean, but not
I'm-
couching
we're gonna
with
click-
all
we're
of
gonna
I quit.
buzzwords.
Her book. the link to her book is gonna be in the description.
What is the link? What is the link to her book?
We're gonna put it. It's gonna be. in the
Rico's gonna
Amazon
be
store.
like, no, don't put it.
We're gonna put it in
I was
Amazon
like, am
store.
I gonna eat this?
Honestly, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that because she is having a moment of she is having a moment
crackers?
of reflection, which she is entitled to.
I agree.
So I'm just wondering why she just didn't write the book, be contrite about everything that she did, and have that moment of reflection such that it teaches the next generation of women, like, granted, this is the time that I lived in, this is the time and the circumstances that I lived in and had to make these types of decisions. But in hindsight, I'm presenting this to you so that maybe you don't have to repeat the
same-
circumstances.
Yes.
And
Way
that's
more
the best part.
impactful.
Yes.
Way more.
impactful.
I agree.
Because there's always going to be women who gonna deal with this in the
Yes.
workplace.
Yep.
Always,
And
always,
this could have helped
always.
women, I think, but she kind of like
And men too.
and men too.
And men
but-
too.
Facts.
A lot of men go through this.
Yeah.
Let's not make exceptions and rules the same. No, I'm not-
Aaron, there's a lot of men that deal with this.
Alan, I'm not saying that there are, but
On both sides.
are we gonna say it's 50-50?
I would say it's 50-50.
Yeah, out y'all goddamn mind.
But what I will say is this.
I don't know if
We're, I,
50-50.
I'm not going to say 50-50, but what I'm going to say is that at the end of the day, there are men who go through this.
Absolutely.
There are, but we got to understand, like, in my opinion, the biggest takeaway is not standing on really so much the actions that you do, but so much of the people in power who use their power to manipulate. And I think that because there's a lot of men who try to manipulate with their power, and now there's a lot of women who try to manipulate with their power too. It is now fair across the board. Whoever has got the power is using it to their advantage. And with that being said, it's like, well, if you can stand on it, which is what you said before, is like stand on it and be like, you do not have to make these decisions, because although it's worth it right now, what's going to happen is you're going to realize you could have got to where you wanted to be without making that sacrifice. And now you don't have to live with that sacrifice. To me, that's more impactful, because what you're doing is you're doing a more of a preventive thing than a solution-based way. What you're preventing the ability for these people of power to try to use their power to make you do what you think is necessary.
And it also villainizes people who have power and aren't doing the bullshit.
Facts.
That is true.
You know.
And also people who have the power, who are very upfront and being like, yo, is this consensual?
Yeah.
Are you okay with it?
And then there's also people who are looking for that come up too. So we
Yeah.
can't even say, you know what I mean? We're in this generation. We got the city girls. We got everybody that's just like, gimme, 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 gimme. You know
And
what I
the
mean?
city boys.
In the city boys.
So what I'm saying is, let's say I have $100, right?
Nice.
What is the city?
And this is what I think we're trying to say to our audience. I have $100. I want to take a girl out on a date. That's $50 for me, $50 from her. That's my resource, right? So I decided to spend $50. I'm hanging out with my boys. It's 10 of us. I buy each of us some pizza for $10. Now I separated my resources 10 times. Like, just be conscious of what you're doing with your resource. Because just how you giving $100 to that $50 date, you could take that $100 and buy yourself a ticket to go to a trip or at like.
What about that basketball player that just spent $500K on Ice Spice? Like, I feel like that's the same thing. Their first date,
That's clout.
$500K.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Literally, I just saw it on my way here. Literally, their first date, he
He's
spent
stupid.
$500K.
Who is it?
On what?
Basketball player
using
on
that
Ice
word.
Spice.
No, but what did he buy?
I don't know, just said the date.
Yumi's like, what is an Ice Spice?
Did you say what is the Ice Spice?
That's not true. We're friends at Ice Spice.
I was about to say, how did she not know who's Ice Spice?
She knows who it is.
She is kid. She has to know.
But
She's on a higher
the only reason I
frequency
said
right
that, 'cause
now.
I feel like that's the generation
damn,
that we're
she in
setting
her
up
mood.
of like,
Like,
you
damn,
got to
she
do
in
something
her
for me
mood.
or I'm not going to love you. And I think that's where we're setting it up.
And that's the thing.
good point.
And London is so right about that because I've been fighting that for a long time because I hate the fact that it has to be a transaction first.
I agree.
I don't mind. Listen, if you have it and you want to do it, go ahead, do it. But really like the person before you do it, and really like the person before you ask for it. like that's all I'm asking for.
But it be niggas fucking it up, just throwing it. Just they make the
No, let's say
transaction.
both.
No,
Yes.
Throwing the money?
no.
Oh,
It be
okay.
guys. They be throwing the money, and
Yeah, and
that's
it be the woman
and
that be
that's
right after
why
them.
the
So what
certain
if-
kind of female has this expectation of needing the transaction first. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying, but that's where it comes from. It comes from y'all.
But you know what? It's
It
like
comes for y'all too.
all money
No,
ain't good money,
it doesn't.
and that's what those women need to
I need a man
understand.
that's gonna pay my bills. I need a man that's gonna do. He got to be 6'4". That's the
But
same thing y'all doing.
But I think
But we just like
she's saying yes, that is the case, but it comes from someone actually.
There was a dodo that sent the money. Like some
Yes.
dodo was
There
just
are
like she was like
dodos.
cash at me.
There are dodos that do
Yeah.
this.
Like
Listen,
that's what we said. Those are
The
ones that
dodos
we
exist.
but that doesn't mean that has to be your look. Women have done a lot of nice things for me. I don't go into any new situation or potential situation like you got to meet and do what they all did. No,
Actually, I've heard you say that.
no, I'm not saying you have to. It's not a
Your
required.
girlfriend pay for your first date.
Okay.
But I said yeah, and that's
I've
why
actually
she's
heard you
here.
say this.
Like, see, that's why
So you
she's here.
required a transaction.
I didn't
from her.
require
No,
it.
no.
It was a suggestion made by her.
Rico, did that make you feel that she has resources?
No, that made me feel like she was.
She did it, baby.
No, that made me feel like she was reciprocal of what I could do.
But did you do anything for her? For her to, was you flying out there? Did you fly out there for her?
I flew out there because I was filming a TV show.
Oh, so not for her.
Okay, so you didn't do
But
anything.
You told her it was for her.
I
for
met
her
no.
before the
I-
date.
I met her while I was out there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even I never knew her.
Okay, so she made the first move. She did the first transaction. So it wasn't reciprocal because you never did.
No,
anything
I
for
said
her.
that made
She
me.
knows the guy you are. Like, is this before she knew who you were, or is
Nah, guys,
She
you
knew
gotta
who you
remember this is 2000 like
oh, this is a long time
20
ago.
like
Oh, okay.
3.5 years almost 2019. It was like February 2020.
You were still the same guy.
Yeah, you know.
She knew, so she knew
No,
she
no,
had to pay
but
something.
I wasn't. But I was like, you gotta think about it. I was, but we weren't. There's a lot of things that have happened in the last 3 years. The elevation has been a lot, right? So like, yeah, I've been the same guy, but I was the same guy in the East Coast. Yeah, I'm saying not in the
Hold
West
on.
Coast.
I want to know. You just said she knew who you were. She knew she had to pay. What does that even mean?
It's standards.
First of all, I like that.
It's just
Can we
being
get that?
realistic.
No,
cut?
because
we know his standards.
that just made me want to throw up.
But I'm just saying,
First
if they
of
know your
all,
standards, just like we know your standards, it's the same thing.
No, her standards are lies.
So his,
Yes.
so
Just
his
love.
Yeah,
standard.
just love now. It's only love.
Just love.
So his standard is he needs a woman to pay for the
No,
date.
his standard is he's not always going to pay though. Like sometimes the women can pay. Why not?
London, thank you, man.
No, we know each other. I'm just saying, come on.
Appreciate it.
I feel like we know this of Rico because he's told this story 1,000,001 times.
But it didn't happen until after it happened. Duh.
But is that the only time it's ever happened for you?
Of course not. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is,
I don't get that.
hold on. First of all, we're getting off on a tangent. The moral of the story
Because we're
is
talking about the female being the one with the resource.
no. We're
now.
talking
It's
about
not getting off on a tangent.
no. What we're talking about. I would love to circle us back. I've been doing this for a while. What we're talking about here is that just because somebody's being frivolous with their resources doesn't mean you have to make it a standard and demand it from everybody that you meet, because that's when you get things misconstrued, and that's when also you get a type of person that you may not really want, and then that's how you buy into their manipulative ways of using their money over you.
But Rico,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a conversation we had one time, and you
Hold on,
was
let me put my
like-
leg up.
You were like, after I met the first girl, and she did X, Y, and Z, the next one had to match that for me to be with her. And
Yeah.
then when that didn't work out, and she did X, Y, Z 1 and 2, the next girl had to do that. So I'm kind of confused.
Rico,
But
is
mine
this
was
really
based off-
realistic?
But mine were based off intangibles, and I would love to play it back. There's a lot of things. So, for example, when I was getting paper plates, and I had a girlfriend whose mother told her never to serve me a paper styrofoam plate, serve me a glass or fine china, right?
I thought these were paper plates on the table today, by the way.
That's some.
Just be,
Don't disrespect us.
Don't do you
Don't
like that.
disrespect us.
I saw these on the
Okay.
table and I
Thank
was
you,
like,
Yumi.
oh, they
See
gave
their
us
house?
paper
Yumi, I
plates.
got you.
Okay.
I got you.
He was like, the fuck?
Yeah. But so more of the
No,
story
I
is,
just did a little like
This is
glance.
Hey, this is clink clink.
right.
Yeah.
The clink, clink, clank.
Let's not ever do that again. But
Make sure
yeah,
y'all edit that out.
As she sips her champagne.
yeah.
With the real glass. Not the plastic.
You know how you know this is a real glass?
In
Look,
the crystal, she's
is-
drinking the champagne.
all the cheap glasses cannot hold an iPhone empty. Let's make sure that is noted, okay?
Good point.
No, that's a fact.
But yeah, so it's my standards are intangibles. My standards are not resource. My standards are reciprocal. I need reciprocity in my relationships. Those are my standards. But those that does not mean that, you have to give me, you have to cash at me $1,000 every month. That's not, my standard isn't an allowance. My standard isn't a car. My standard isn't pay for my child. If we want to go on a date, you have to pay for the babysitter. Like, that's not my standards. I don't hold my standards to monetary. Now, you do have to have something going for yourself, and you can't be a bum, of course. Yes, sir. Pussy has never been a resource, and it won't ever be a resource.
It's absolutely a
so.
resource.
I think so.
It's a resource to a clown.
It's absolutely.
It's not a resource.
got power.
It's not a resource. Pussy only has power to those that are powerless. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I will ask the yes.
These accents.
Yes.
Okay. Is pussy a resource? Rico, Hondo.
I'm next.
A pussy is a resource to a clown. Pussy is power to those who are powerless. Pussy is not a resource to a man of divine masculinity.
Okay, Aaron.
No, I'm fucking around.
say cut.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Anything that you can give and then receive something in return,
Come on.
I would venture to say that is in fact a resource.
I agree.
Because if London needs me to do X, and I might need his time, but he may need my money. So for a fair exchange, fair exchange.
He might need some money or some pussy. Either or.
Either or.
Fair exchange is
Right.
not robbery.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I
And
agree.
it all depends on what you need from a person. Our transaction is he needs my time and I need his money. So if pussy was not a resource, selling pussy would not be
Come on, a hot
the-
commodity.
Not
Oh,
only
this
is it a
job.
hot commodity, it's literally the longest running job ever in
Really?
for a woman. Yeah.
Not for a woman.
No, it is.
I
You
mean,
know,
no,
I'm
but-
using the wrong term. I'm like going blank right now. You can help me, Marie.
No, you have it right.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
you
but
actually have it right.
It's the
Longest profession.
there you go. Longest profession like to ever be known.
Oh, you mean the
OnlyFans
oldest
bring back-
profession?
Oldest.
The
Yeah.
oldest.
Longest, oldest.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
is love a resource then?
Yeah, to somebody. Yeah.
So
Right,
that's
if
what
you
I'm
know how to
saying.
give it.
It's
Yeah, I
like-
feel
The way the person needs it.
right.
But we got to remember what a resource is, right? And I'll be 100% transparent with you guys. Yeah, right. But let me be 100% transparent with you guys, right? I had a situation where I had a very, very big deal with a certain product. However, the product has a great substantial value. We're talking millions of dollars. But the reality is there is no market for that product. Now that product still has the value, but that does not mean that it's technically a resource because there's no buyer.
It's true.
So now,
But she said, yeah.
but no, so what I'm saying is just because it has value, just because it is a resource, does not mean it is if there is no market for it. So if men decide to stop paying for pussy, then pussy is not a resource no matter how many women think that it is.
But if
I
if-
know,
I'm
if-
just-
if
I'm
if
just saying.
was a fifth,
Right.
we
But if
all
if
be
was a
drunk.
fifth.
Come on.
Rika's like, if men stop paying for pussy, that's like if the
But like-
sky's going. What if the sky falls?
That's a fact.
Good sex is a resource.
But good
Yeah.
sex is a
Good sex will make a motherfucker do a lot
That's
of
a fact.
shit.
No,
That's
Rico
a
said
fact.
good head.
Good head too.
That's what Rico said.
but that's my weakness. You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't have to be a weakness. This
not a
is
weakness, you just like it.
sex.
No,
though.
it's a weekness. That's not like when
Okay,
it
but it
when it makes
falls
you do a lot
under
of
the
shit, it's a
category
weakness.
of-
Don't give me.
sex.
Leave me alone. Get off of me. No, but seriously, okay, is good sex a resource? Yes. But usually a good sex requires a lot of things, right? It doesn't require just pussy. It also requires chemistry or intimacy. It requires passion. And all of those things is realistically an exchange for both.
Look at you being poetic now.
I'm not being poetic. I'm being actually right. But pussy is just one thing. So it's like,
Pussy's a resource.
no, I'm just saying,
Yes,
but
of course
pussy,
it is.
but pussy's not. Pussy is just
like
one
dick is a
thing.
resource.
You know why I
Dick
think
is-
dick is more of a resource than pussy?
Rolls Royce.
Pippin
Real.
Honda.
Well, let's get it going.
But look, hey,
That's more.
you gotta think about it. All right, so now let me ask you a question: what's a bigger resource, dick or pussy?
Pussy.
Listen,
Why?
Because
Why?
women ain't.
Because
Dick is available everywhere. I can literally walk to that Wawa right now.
Well, it all depends on the female.
Men are offering their dick on the street. They're like, take it, take
But
it,
so
take
is
it, take it.
females. Cut
Thank
it
you.
out.
Nah.
Cut it out.
Thank you.
Cut it out.
In
Right now.
exchange for something.
Niggas
Niggas
So are
just,
women.
niggas just like to have sex. Exactly.
Oh,
They
okay,
don't
okay,
want
okay,
nothing. They just want to fuck. That's
Okay.
it.
So-
I thought you meant.
When we talking about a resource, right? when-
we don't be fucking for no
Nothing wrong
reason.
with that.
I just
No,
want to clarify
sometimes.
this because I never understood.
I
the
mean,
Pippin
some,
thing.
Some bread.
About how
50,000 a day is a lot, no matter what year.
5,000 a day.
Yeah, but 10 people.
My dad was a
Yeah.
pimp, so yeah.
So
I
each
agree.
girl was
Today,
bringing in
that's a lot today.
5,000. Damn. How do you be a pimp?
How do we do this?
Because
I'll put you on this show.
Carry the one times 10.
I don't gotta bake no more cakes. If I put.
Eggs are too high.
Oh my God.
Y'all, in this egg
no.
making business.
Eggs is crazy. Y'all know how much eggs is?
It's $12.
Eggs is
Put an
crazy.
egg and half the other
But
day.
just move to Vegas.
Like we gonna say that.
That's hilarious. Y'all, wait.
Google better have some real answers.
Yeah,
for
I'm
me,
like-
'cause I'm doing a deep search tonight.
Deep dive. in
Wait,
pimping.
what they call me traffic?
It's sex trafficking.
What, pimping?
Pimping.
Like if you got
Oh,
a girl,
that's not the business.
Prostitution is.
Yeah. No, you got two girls.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like,
You can say it.
I
It's
got
been,
it. I got it. Yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
well, it's legal in Vegas,
yeah,
first
you
of
can
all.
always do it.
What?
It's
Is it-
definitely legal
is
in
it-
Vegas.
Is
So,
it legal in New York?
no.
Yeah, it's almost legal.
Criminalized in New York.
Yeah, not
I was
anymore.
about to say because I know where they be at.
Do you?
No, I
There's
do.
a street, right? What is it called?
They don't be private. They be up and down the streets.
Wait, there's an
That's what I'm
actual
saying.
street that is for the prostitutes in New York.
Hunts Point, 42nd.
No, well, in
42nd.
Brooklyn, I know where they at in Brooklyn.
Broadway Junction. You got all of them.
I know
I
where
know
they at.
East New York, they be
Yeah,
like
East New
on.
York.
Where are they at? I'm just trying to
Pennsylvania.
figure it out.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
in the back.
I just want to know the
Anybody
streets.
from Houston is on
Back
here. Put it in the comments if y'all know where they be at.
She trying to go clearly.
No, I know where it is.
like, when I go home, tell me where we need to be.
No,
But
I'll
Houston-
be over there.
But
Tell me where I need to go pay.
and that's the thing though. In different places, pimping is very big. Like
Yeah,
Houston
facts.
is pimping is big in Houston, the Midwest.
Honestly, we really need to take a Houston trip.
I agree.
Do you want to be a pimp,
I do.
or do you want to get pimped?
No, what are you saying right now? What are you saying right now?
got it right.
What was it, Aaron?
Somebody said it.
What is it?
I see you smokeaholic on Bissonnette.
Bissonnette.
Wait, what do you have? What live do you have?
Hours.
Bisennett.
Yeah, but it's like
Oh yeah, Instagram.
she's like hours. Like,
Because it's not my phone.
No, because she meant like, because she's
Yeah,
on
no,
TikTok.
I
cause,
got
no, yeah, because I have TikTok.
Oh yeah. No, y'all, they be out there. It's literally, there's always like a story about it. You can literally drive down that street right now. I kid you not. Right now.
Yeah, in New
They will
York,
be
too.
there. In 2 hours, they will be there.
What do they look like?
Nah.
Like, what's a
East New York and
Bissonnette
Brooklyn is crazy.
from 0 to 10?
Brooklyn is crazy.
hmm
I was a
Brooklyn
man.
is
That's what you say. They're
No.
walking up and down the street, and
Yeah.
they don't hide that they're prostitutes.
LA, they do that. In
Yeah,
LA.
right.
Yeah.
First of all, every girl in LA is a prostitute. Like, let's be real.
Shut up.
They're wearing
Every
Dior.
girl in LA,
They're
that's where
they're
you're-
wearing
Only 'cause
Miami
I
too.
got a few homies.
What are you
Like,
talking
nah,
about?
they not.
Wait, so I just want to know, is there a consensus
Facts.
that pussy is a resource?
I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
If there was a vote, say aye.
Absolutely.
All right, fine.
absolutely.
No, it
To
is.
some. To some.
We have.
We're not
we have
saying just
one.
you in general.
Pussy's not a resource to Rico. I got a lot of that shit. You feel me? I still get it. You hear me? How you doing?
Is Shia here
be on-
yet?
Right. Get
Is
him.
she here yet?
Get him.
Pussy live in my house. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm
Oh,
good.
yeah, clean that up.
Yeah, pussy live in my house.
Wait,
No,
just
I was
say that.
trying to say
He's
right.
like, it's right in my house.
Pussy live in my house.
You better
Pussy
clean
was
it
always in my house. You hear me? Like 30 years in this hoe. You hear me?
Clean it
I
up.
came out of a pussy.
Yeah, came that way. I've been getting pussy since I was born.
Clean it up. Or
Yeah, I mean, if you think so, I think we
I
could.
do. I really want people like to engage in the comments on the Debra Lee situation, only because like the impact that she could have made
yeah,
has totally been negated.
but don't lose the message.
What?
Well,
No,
no,
she
no,
didn't
no,
deliver.
Lose her message.
Right, lose hers for sure, but don't lose the.
No, I'm saying the message about her having been able to use this moment of reflection
Yeah.
to show women who are coming up, like, you don't have to do these
No,
things.
I agree. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying. Yeah, don't
I
lose
just
that
like,
message.
unfortunately, like she
It's
could
like
have
if
made
the
a
target was
bigger
here,
impact.
she shot this way.
So, but I want to ask everybody. We all gotta answer this. So, are you leading with love or are you leading with resource?
Y'all know my answer.
Wait,
Shut up, you're a liar.
wait.
But I'm not a liar.
Meaning like, well, yeah, you don't count because I guess. Yeah.
well, like,
Meaning like,
what am I giving?
If
yeah,
you
what
had-
are you giving?
I'm giving love.
No,
Oh,
get not
really?
giving. What are you leading to get? Get.
Get and give. Yeah, let's do both.
Give me a get.
I'm leading with love.
And you want to get
outta
what?
here.
Love back. Just that's
I want
it.
to get. I want love back, but that love has to be shown in a very particular way.
With resources. With motherfucking resources.
Cash app, but just like, take care of me. I ain't gonna
Cash app. She want direct deposit. Fuck a cash app.
That was the nicest cash app.
ACH. Y'all want to hear something funny? The other day, it was my friend's birthday. It's 3 of us. We all went to college together. And
Which
so I
one?
said, hey, Derek, happy birthday. Love you. I hope you're doing well. X, Y, and Z. Health and wealth. X, Y, whatever. And then he said, I appreciate it. I love you guys I love you, Aaron, more than you ever know. And so our other friend, Benny, is in the group. I'm just telling all their names. And Benny,
And Benny Williams was like,
Benny Williams.
And Benny was like, man, happy birthday. And he's like, man, appreciate it, dog, or like friend or whatever. And I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't love you more than more.
I got the more special shout out.
And then I said, since you love me more than I'll ever know, these days I'm taking my love in the form of to be displayed and illustrated in the form of Cash App,
Zell.
Zelle, Venmo, all of these wonderful ways to send gifts.
Express. I'm leaning with resources.
Show that love with money. And
Absolutely.
those people are ashamed. I don't like that.
what you mean?
Fathers do it.
People that won't spend $1 on you.
Yeah, that's a
But
fact.
if they love you,
Yeah.
they will spend on you.
I'm that person.
I know I
I'm
am
not
that. I
spending
am
that.
definitely that
If
person.
I love you, it's free fall.
I be spending money on
But I mean,
people
like,
I
really
love.
love.
And yeah, and my father, For all the birthdays and the Christmases, my mom, she does write the cards. She got the cards and she writes the cards. But my
Daddy do it. You know, you're
He
right.
pays
you ain't
it and she
shit
makes it
because my
pretty.
mom, she's a really good person. But my dad, he always puts the money in the cards. That's where the money comes
fathers,
from.
I think you're right. Fathers do that for daughters. I don't know if like they don't know how to express that particular kind of
Don't
love.
put that on all fathers. Don't
Yeah.
say
I
that.
didn't
Not
say
all
fathers.
fathers,
You said
but
fathers. You did.
You just said fathers.
Okay, I don't know if
okay, not all fathers, but some fathers.
know if I-
They usually just give the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
because I don't know if
Especially
they-
when they got daughters, sometimes they just don't know
how to express
how
that
to
type of love.
exactly.
And
So they
based
give
on
money.
what age they came up in, you
Yeah, I
know.
think that's what it is.
Like daddies who are like right now, like 35, they probably tell their kids they love them all the
Yeah,
time.
facts.
Yeah, I
Whereas
do.
My daddy.
Facts. Same
Even
here.
though I spent a lot of time with my dad, like a lot.
We know.
My dad was the one that was telling me he loves me a lot. My mom was the tough one. It was
Really?
reversed to me, yeah.
Where you
Wow.
from? America?
Yeah.
Mississippi.
South Carolina.
America.
But I don't know, like I don't know. That's just been my experience, and even some of my friends' experiences with their fathers.
Yeah, I'm
Of a certain
actually
generation.
very affectionate with my daughter. Overly, it's actually sickening. Never been that
This is the
affectionate with
new
any
age.
other.
This Gen Z. They
Well, I'm actually
There
not.
should be
Gen Z.
nothing wrong with it because I hated that you was like, oh, no.
No, no.
feel
But
no way.
I feel like it's weird. It's not weird because mentally I understand why. My daughter is. I feel like the only woman outside of my mother is actually really attached to me, no matter almost anything. I know every other relationship that I deal with does have certain conditions. If I cannot do X, Y, and Z, potentially shit could go south.
Hey, you better treat your daughter right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I'm not saying. I'm not
And
saying.
your mother.
Well,
She will.
Okay.
yeah, but like it'd be a
Don't give a damn what
it'd be
you
a
say
lot harder to
today.
do. I can't explain it, but to do like I know that I would, and this is just being honest. I know I would go to a further level. Not saying I wouldn't go far for my girl, but I would go to a further level for my daughter, probably more than anybody else on this earth, including my mom. You know what I'm saying? So, so knowing that is different. So because I have that level, they can't even compete. And you know what I realized too? This is going off on totally thing, but a lot of women, and I didn't know this to a lot of my friends who have daughters, say that the mother
what you're saying.
usually beef with the daughter because of the way the father treats them differently. And it's not fair because realistically, that's your child. The same way as your child is our child. But the difference is, as a
American
dude,
thing, I suppose.
that's the different thing with your, you know.
It's like two different relationships.
You
It's the
know?
same thing. It's
And
not
they
just-
compare them,
relate.
you know?
No, it's two
I don't
different
beef with my mama.
two different things. I
Because you're a
know.
girl with a girl. It's a little different. Like, but we know how you are with girls too. You know.
Are we shaming?
I was
Sounded
like,
a little bit.
hold
I
on.
was like, wow.
No.
Why does he keep
I was
knocking me?
Dagger. That's dagger.
That's that little
I
sister
honestly,
dad.
yo, everybody knows I love Amanda so much.
similar. I think
This
that's
is
how
all
they do it.
just a
Obviously not
fucking
enough.
joke.
Not enough. Not enough. Not
Hats
enough.
tell it. We're
Right.
in the
But to answer the question, London, I'm leading with resource before love, and I'm just being real.
So am I.
You feel me? And then there's no shame in my game. You know what
I'm
saying?
leading with love, and we all know that.
That's
Okay.
fucking.
No, I'm actually.
And
is why I get
it's not bullshit. Even though Rico wants to say it's bullshit, it's not. Like, I lead with love because I don't care what the motherfucker got. If I love you, I love you.
I don't
That's
believe her,
it.
guys.
Guys,
it.
watch all 578 episodes that we had.
Okay, and just watch her stories, like where she shop, all of this.
How do I contradict myself? How?
We'll let the audience be the guest.
No, you tell me. Since you know all 578 episodes.
I don't know all 578. We probably have 700, but
I'm
whatever.
straight. I promise you, I'm straight. I'm straight. And if y'all watch me, y'all know I'm poetic as hell. Okay? So ain't no contradicting over here.
I don't know. I'm definitely leading with love.
I think I leave her
Thank
both.
you.
Like I lead with love sometimes, but then I lead with
We're not talking about
resource.
You're so good. Yo, y'all just let her go. Like, I just want to throw my shoe. Aaron, I commend you because I honestly think that you just did that so well. You're a professional.
Thank you.
You're a professional. I'm going to just put my leg up and shut up.
Thank you. And he also got a lot of
Or that
kids.
you don't
he can barely
have.
take care of them kids. So he can't be out here doing dumb shit.
Like, I'm not paying to date, and I ain't paying to get to know you. That's for damn
Didn't you just
sure.
say that resources are finite?
I mean, well, your
like, why
situation
would-
is cool right now, so I guess you don't
money
even got to worry about
for
dating no
existence.
more.
If I showed you my situations, you'll be like, "What?
do
I don't
that.
understand how this is." I'm like, it's crazy, right?
Yo, that's crazy to me.
Oh, we gotta keep this. Okay,
Just
I
because
didn't
you
know.
alive, I gotta
recording?
give you money.
Yeah.
I'll
You
I
said stop
mean-
recording. I swore I saw you say stop recording. Oh my bad.
But
I'm sorry.
but my thing is, Alan, I don't mind. See, the thing is, and I don't understand why do you not you, but you people, whomever you may be, try to lead with trying to impress a girl who's only here to be impressed, rather than try to impress a girl who's here to be your fucking wife. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, but sometimes it can go.
You run
both
around with an
ways.
Ice Spice girl.
If I'm impressed
What do you
by
what do
then
you
we can
expect
go
from Ice
somewhere.
Spice girls? Like,
Well, I think really,
Like, what are we
I agree with you, Rico. I kind of agree, but then I disagree only because I feel like I have too many sisters, and I feel like I hear the same thing. It's like you got all these like dudes that's playing dumb in your DMs, hitting you up for stupid stuff. So finally, when you find a dude that like you that's into you, yeah, he has to do a little bit more because of us that's in her DMs and her text messages talking wonky to her.
You say it.
no, and I understand, but doing a little bit more and doing something
Not $500K.
outrageous is out. Yeah, you feel me? Like,
But no, $500K to him is like $500.
but it's still 500K exactly,
Right,
and that's the
right,
thing.
right.
So like the value does not change.
That's fact. That's fact. You're right.
Yeah,
Let's
because
say who knows is he gonna play it the whole time? You know what I mean? He can get fired.
who knows if like well.
What if he don't play next year, y'all?
Right,
and this
that
dude
part.
done spunt. He done spunt.
A half a mil.
500,000 on Ice Spice.
What if he gets her
lucky.
pregnant
He
and
done spent it
he
already.
already proves he's spending 500,000 in
After-
court? You
right.
know what his child support gonna be?
Well, that doesn't matter.
But like you gotta understand.
Can I just say something to you? In my opinion, I think that
You know how much Fetty Wap pays a year in child support?
How many kids he got?
I think like 7.
Fetty
10.
Wap got mad kids.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why he pays so much in child
But no,
support.
he pays like
I think
million.
like
I think it was like 10 million or 11 million dollars a year. But $11 million. No, listen,
No,
I ain't a
but your child.
Isn't Future the same way?
it's according to your income.
Future.
Exactly.
No. It's according to what you can prove.
Yeah.
Future's last one, he got away with $3,500 a month.
Your income. So it's
many
not
kids he
based
got,
on your
though?
assets.
8 or 7.
It's literally based on what comes in, whatever your income is.
Yeah, but like, this is what I'm trying to say. You can't hide your shit as an NBA player.
Right.
As a
You can have $20 million
let's not talk
of
about
assets,
that.
but your
Don't get us
income
caught.
is
Zip
only
it.
$200,000 a year.
Shut your
Right.
Based on that income.
Next thing we know, we ordered it.
look,
So that's
yeah. Next thing you know, we on it.
But what I was gonna say to you is,
I'm like, don't we
maybe
say
for
that?
men,
Because he's saying
maybe
it's like
for men, in my
entrepreneurs and stuff. We don't got to
opinion,
put everything.
that if a man leaves with his resources and his money,
That's why I like working for myself.
Same.
I make $0 now.
Okay, I'm broke.
But Alan, security and stupid are not the same.
No.
So when you do 500,000 in a date, in a month, in a year, that's not security. That's
Stupidity.
stupid.
No, that's not stupid. 'Cause- And the only
No,
reason I'm
but
saying
it
that because
is.
that's not our love language.
No,
That's what I'm saying. That's
My
their
thing-
love
Love language.
No,
Listen,
gifts is a love language.
is-
It's
language.
a no.
Gifts-
I get it. It's
gifts is a
a
love
date,
language.
not a love.
No,
Like
but
he doesn't love
sometimes-
her.
No,
It's
no,
a
love
date.
language meaning like that's how he wants to show love.
That's how he
Yes,
shows
no,
like.
no, I know
You
the
could be
love
stupid in
language,
the way
but
you
I'm
do
just
your
like
love
that's
language.
not love.
No, it's
That's
not.
just a
Well,
flex.
also, it is
Yeah.
a flex.
If
It's
he wants
just
to
the
spend his
guys.
money, that's not love.
Oh no, you
Guys
spend your
like
money
to
how you
flex,
want, but you're
and
still a
it's
fool.
not even cute. Like honestly, I find that
That's
kind of
not her.
flexing not attractive. Like guys, they just like to flex. They're going on a date and like showing off your money isn't security. I mean, maybe in the way that you do it, but sometimes it's just flexing, and it's just like that's just not attractive.
Like that's all you got.
That's exactly. Are you just trying to show me that you got some money?
Very true.
Money that is probably only for right now. Is this sustainable money? Is this money that can be secured? Like, can you take care of me with this money? Or are you just trying to show me that you could take me on a nice fancy date right now?
You know,
Like-
that's a good point because if somebody spent 500,000, I'm like, that's cute, but like,
You're
Reckless.
stupid.
you have incredibly questionable judgment.
Facts.
Like, what the like?
Well, think about it. They're younger. So I think that's really why.
Well, we need to know the
It should be
basketball
business.
player that did this.
Can we just use the S
We
word that
don't
I'm
know.
giving you?
The same.
Who is he?
Stupid.
And how old is he?
like
I don't know. I'm sure his financial advisor was like, what
he
Cringing.
wasn't even there.
No, because if I like somebody and I got the money,
They
I'm gonna do
probably
it.
called his phone down
yeah.
when this article came
He
out.
called him. He called him and he said, "Yo, you do this again, I'm freezing all of your accounts.
I don't
Like,
know.
after the fact, most
I think
likely.
because I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
Think about it. We don't know what the date was. The date could have been literally the best date of her life. You get what I'm saying? Who's to say? Like,
but here's the thing.
I mean,
My-
of course she would say that with all the money that was spent.
It's a date though. Like that's the
but I
part that
think
bothers me.
That's not our money. We don't spend $500,000 on a regular. You get what I'm saying? He might spend that on a regular.
It was a shopping spree.
Oh God.
Exactly. That's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
he
They
said.
probably went to the
Yo,
mall.
it was a
and
shopping
he got
spree.
her a really
Wait a minute.
expensive.
She got something for
chain
all
or
her friends.
something.
Just like her, have them put that wig on, and then I have a big ass, and I promise you, I would save my money.
No, he
Guys,
could've.
wait, guys, real talk. Maybe he went. She's from the Bronx, right? So maybe
I really don't trust her.
Wait.
Time out. No.
Maybe
Now
he drove
I'm
up
tight.
to like Gun Hill Road or something, or
Not you know the streets.
it's the Bronx.
It's the Bronx.
And,
Like, I
you
don't know the Bronx.
And he was like, "Hey, out of all these properties, you can shop for one."
No.
That's fine.
On a
Aaron,
first date?
stop.
On a
Aaron,
date?
Aaron, don't do that.
First date.
He spent $500,000.
Okay, but like
On
On a
first
date?
That's like 300-400.
Well, I think the first date is. Yeah, they're together now. I think that's what that says. That's what. I mean, they go together now. Right.
give me one date with this gentleman. Who is he? What's his name? Drop the name.
Are we listening to this? Are we listening to it? Because it's the
That
same
could
person
never-
that said she leaves with love. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying.
no.
Thank you, London.
Come on.
Thank you, London.
not
I
saying-
appreciate
I'm
it.
I'm not caught
Same
nothing.
segment.
Got him.
Not-
Same segment.
Hold on.
Clear it
Hold
up.
on.
Right.
Cause let me clean it up for you.
Clean it.
I didn't say I wanted to love anybody. I said I wanted to a date because I want a Maybach truck and I want the Gucci and I want the Louis and whatever the fuck he was buying. I spiced.
Lucci, Gooey, Fendi, whatever. What was that song?
No, I
She
wish we
said
had it.
Lucci.
But Amanda's like, I'm not marrying him.
I didn't say I wanted to love anybody.
I know we didn't say
I
that
said I
either.
want the stuff.
Guys,
You just said you was talking
guys.
bull. Come on.
No, that's stupid. It has not hit and you didn't sign it, brother.
Guys, I just want to put
You
this out
probably
there.
needed
For
to
those
spend
of
a
y'all
certain
who
amount
think
of
y'all got
money.
money coming, a deal is not done
Until it's
done.
until
done.
it is done.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Until it is done.
Yep.
Like as you get older,
All
you
it
gonna
takes
see
is
some
one
shit
smoke
go
and one
awry.
fight, and it's a
Yep.
wrap for him.
Right.
Because they probably gonna see that article and pull the whole fucking deal away.
He might be jumping around in his house tonight and break his fucking knee. I don't know.
Jinx the man now.
I'm
That
not, but
could
I'm just,
happen.
but I'm just saying.
Even with the contract, that's reckless.
Who me?
A third of my money?
I wasn't paying for that, no matter how much money I had. And first of all, I'm a lady, so I shouldn't be
Now
having to
you
pay
a
for that.
lady.
So,
Just so.
what you mean now? What do you mean?
No, because you keep
I
changing it.
like
One day you're like, I'm the
Guys,
boss man.
basic
One day you're like,
little-
no.
But I'm still a lady.
You see what I'm saying?
Why would I have to drop that much on a date?
Yes, too much.
Even if I was
Guys,
paying.
Guys,
He still didn't even make, and mind you, how about this? Do me a
Wait,
favor,
is
find
this-
out
is
what's
this the
guaranteed.
500,000 guy? His name is Jordan Poole.
And he's a backup.
You're about to Google, like, where does he live?
She's like, well, let me Google this fool.
clearly,
What game we playing next?
guys, clearly he hangs out in the Bronx, so you can probably go there.
I was about to say,
You never know.
You know what the craziest
maybe
thing
they
is?
met at a basketball game or
Oh,
something.
she don't hang out. Yeah, yeah.
The craziest thing is this,
Because
right?
she's from the Bronx doesn't mean she be meeting celebrities in the fucking Bronx, Aaron.
That's what.
I've met celebrities in the Bronx.
What Bronx? On Gun Hill Road?
Matter of fact.
Yes.
Because she knew that street very well.
Well, because that's where the first GK was.
Because she wants to be.
I
wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it 'cause
Sean
I like her.
Kingston on Gun Hill Road.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That was singing "Beautiful Girls" and he was about to commit suicide. So this is what I was. The song.
The song.
You got me suicidal, suicidal.
And they couldn't play that on the radio.
And
Couldn't
yes.
say the word suicidal on the radio.
I think.
You get
No,
no
really, y'all. There's some more celebrities I met on Gun Hill.
Is this the main road? Is this the main road of Bronx?
Jordan Poole just wanted to
Yeah,
become.
yeah.
See, look, if Jordan Poole said this to me, right? I got a massive contract coming up, and in the NBA, you got to be a superstar. And in order to be a superstar in the NBA, you also have to be a star outside of the game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna secure a bigger bag. I'm gonna spend this money on this fool, right? You know what I'm saying? She gonna take the money, and then I'm gonna go viral for it. they're gonna give me backlash, but guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna boost me higher, and I'm gonna do it again next
He can
year.
write it off anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yes, he can.
A date? How you can write off a date?
The car.
That's what I'm saying. You can always fix it.
He could have bought the car, and it could be in his name till next
Like, it
year.
was for a-
Until he let it. Yeah.
Zip my mouth. I'm
Like,
sorry.
damn, she in her move. Like, damn,
All the
she
way.
in her move.
All the way.
Money.
Okay. Don't get me to
We're going to jail.
Telling the truth.
This
Lock
is
me up.
called 8 After Crimes.
First of all, we need to play some Ice Spice after this because she earned
I love
some
it. I got it.
respect around here.
Dun, 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 dun.
We need to make Ice
And-
Spice our theme song now.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We need to make ice
She earned some respect around here. She earned some
Renata says
respect
she
around
lives.
here.
Renata Gilliam says she lives in New Jersey now. I don't know how you know that.
I was about to say, anybody from New York,
If you type
they
in,
moved
should
to
get
Jersey,
Lola
they
Brooke.
get a house. I was thinking that too.
I have her info, so I'll give it to you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
are we still live?
Are we still live?
We might as well just tell her now. London, you already said it.
Oh shit.
Whose phone is this? Ooh.
Guys, we're leaving. It's been great.
Next time, join us on YouTube.
No, I did. I put it on here. So,
Y'all are nosy.
oh,
No.
No.
I'm on my business.
Yes. Who that?
I think that's Tiff, though. Because Tiff is actually.
wait, what?
It's unsafe, but I
What's
think
her
that's
name,
I
though?
think that's
what's her
Tiffany.
name.
What was
Tiffany,
it?
if that's you, please say it's you.
That's you who texted that?
No, it was nobody
No,
at this table.
not me.
Right.
Well, how the fuck is gonna be me?
Wait, what are we looking at?
No, somebody just texted.
Somebody
Anyways,
said they missed the
let's-
show. Put them on the live.
That's not what they said. You
oh.
gonna read.
What did I mean, I was trying not to. So.
I read that shit
All right,
quick.
are we closing out?
Like,
We are.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
well, thank you, YouTube. Michael Matrope, I don't know if you're there, but I feel like you are. I knew it. You know what I'm
What
saying?
up, my guy?
You know what I'm saying? Fatty, I don't know if you're there. Unique Brooks. Where's
Yeah,
Unique
where-
Brooks
yeah,
been
where's
at?
Yo, where Unique been at?
Did Unique ever
Did
get
you
her
ever get her
Yes,
stuff?
I sent Unique the hoodie.
I was about to say,
Alright,
that's why she
cool.
stopped fucking with us.
Send me her. We're going to write her a card. Let's
I
write a card and
sent-
say we miss her for our lives.
Well, let's honor Michael, who's been holding us down as a moderator.
Yeah, Michael.
Patrol.
Yeah, Michael is dope. Isn't he in New York?
Yes, he's in Brooklyn.
Oh, period, Michael.
it's
Michael.
11:30. That's up.
I bet it was like this. I bet it was like this.
Can we wrap
I said, who?
Oh, yeah,
Who
we
phone
got
is
caught
that?
up.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
Wait, where's YouTube?
Yo, look.
Okay. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know it got out of hand at the end. People just talking and we having a good time, really. So we appreciate it. Make sure y'all check out. We have a new Amazon store. So a lot of the things that you see, like we get a lot of comments about like our decor, like the couches and all kind of stuff, even like down to our makeup and skincare.
And my travel luggage that was just uploaded today.
Okay, so we're gonna just whatever. If y'all seen stuff in our pictures and our videos, and y'all have asked us about it, like we're trying to showcase some of those things on the Amazon store that y'all can have access to. So check it out. Remember, we're trying to get up to 1 million in views, comments, all the
Followers.
engagement,
Subscribers.
followers, subscriptions. So help us get to 1 million. We love y'all. Thank you for the support and.
Thanks, everyone.